Right then guys, how's it going? Welcome back to a new video. Sun is shining. Come out and get a bit of fresh air and thought, you know what, let's do a quick video about Newcastle. Mostly around the fact that we did not win against Watford on Saturday. I was at the game. If you want to check out the video on the channel, be sure to do so. If you want to watch a grown man cry, then go and watch that video. I do have quite a good video planned for tomorrow for Tuesdays. I won't spoil what it is, but it will be up around tomorrow, again around the same time, 4 o'clock, so be sure to look out for that tomorrow. But as for today's video, as I say, I'm not sure what I've put the title as for this video, but I think it'll be something around the lines of spend the money, pay the money, bring the transfers in, do something to save us, because my God, man. If you thought it couldn't get any worse after the Cambridge game, we tried to better it against Watford. I mean, we're lucky Watford are as bad as we are. I mean, they had 18 shots. They had 5 on target and they scored 1. We had 1 shot on target and we scored it, thank God. Yeah, I think if we'd played pretty much any other team in the Premier League, probably could have lost 2 or 3-0 yesterday. You cannot allow a team to have 18 shots. It's absolutely madness. I think the most disappointing thing out of yesterday, and this is the thing, you know, we're gonna talk about transfers again in a moment, but we've lost. I think it's a bit, you know, us, Watford, Norwich, and Burnley of teams of how many points we've lost from winning positions. We've lost 21 points from winning positions this season. We cannot hold on to a game. We can't hold on to a win or a draw and then we'll lose. You know, we're winning 1-0 with 2 minutes to go against a team that are very much in the relegation battle with us. You've got to have more composure than that. It's just crazy. And again, that's why we'll talk about transfers, because at the end of the day, Chris Wood came in, didn't exactly have the debut we all hoped for. Here's me putting on bets before the game. Chris Wood to score a header, 7-1 on Sky Sports Bet. Good God, the poor lad didn't even get a chance on goal, I don't think. We give him no service. I mean, he's trying to run the channels. I mean, he's not that kind of striker. We need to plonk him on the penalty spot and lob the ball into him. Get it out wide, get it to Trippier, across it in. Again, St. Max obviously taking a bit of stick again because he isn't tracking back. And I'll talk about St. Max in a second. But for me, if that's the way you want to play football, put Richie on that wing. Put Richie on the left, him on the left, Trippier on the right, on the overlap anyway. I wouldn't play Richie left back. I think Paul Dummett, to be fair, was one of the few who also had a good game. First game back in years. First game back in months. And he put in a real shift. I think that's the thing for us, wouldn't he? I know I'm jumping around a little bit here, but to finish off on Chris Wood, I think if you're going to play him up front in the put him on the pen spot and cross the ball in. I've seen Burnley fans coming out and saying if you're going to play Chris Wood, he has to play with a second striker. I don't necessarily agree with that, but I understand what they're saying. What they're saying is he's a big lump and he's going to battle and he's going to fight for you, but you can't just isolate him like the way we did against Watford. And if we are going to isolate him like that, we need to be at least getting the ball in, the diagonal ball. I think he won quite a few. I think he won 4 or 5 headers up there. I mean, Lascelles won 22 aerial duels or something in that game, which is obviously a great stat for him, but he didn't do it when it meant the most, did he? Right at the end when the ball comes in. And again, that's the composure side that we're really lacking at the minute. Trippier, you can see, is a step ahead of everything else that's going on in that defence. I say Paul Dummett I really thought Paul Dummett had a good game. Again, he's nothing flash, and we've known this for a long time, but he will stand at left back and he'll kick the ball out when he needs to. You know, if we're under pressure, kick the ball away. You know, as much as I love to watch us pass the ball back to Dubravka 500 times a game, you know, we can also hit it up the line as well, and we can kick it away if we're in danger. And Paul Dummett's not scared to do that. The two main issue areas for us in that game, if we didn't already know it, we got it shown exactly what the issue is against Watford. Centre defence, Lascelles again, and And I could easily sit here and rant and rave on Lascelles. I said it a month ago. I probably said it around the time Eddie Howe came in, 2 months ago, 2.5 months ago. Give the lad a break. We're playing Lascelles over and over. He's having a nightmare. Like, every game he's having a nightmare. And we keep playing him. I know Fernandez has been injured and apparently he's falling out with someone and he's not getting a game. Like, honestly, just play Fernandez. If what it means is to play Hayden at centre-back instead of Lascelles, I think we've got to do it. Lascelles is having an absolute nightmare and we'll keep playing him over and over and he's getting stick over and over. Give the poor lad a break. Like, again, I could easily sit here and slag him off. I'm not going to do that. Because at the end of the day, I do think he's trying his best and he's on bad form and he's got no confidence. I would be pointing more at where the selection is. Why we're playing him? Shaw looks like he wants to go. Shaw looks like he wants to leave now. He looks uninterested. And then you look at the centre midfield. Longstaff as well. I think if Longstaff wants to go to Everton, I think we should probably let him go. You know, I'm a massive believer in players coming from the academy and backing your own. And, you know, I want to see Longstaff do well for Newcastle and how he did a few years ago under Rafa Benitez, where he looked like a world beater and Manchester United wanted to pay 40 million for him. Where's that player gone? Again, does he need a break? I think Shelvey's letting himself down as well. I'm not looking forward to Shelvey playing Leeds this weekend. Leeds are going to probably run twice as much and twice as hard as we are. Shelvey can play a ball, but positionally he looks off. That deep lying defensive role isn't working for him. He's too past it to be playing that role. Which brings me on to the transfers, which is, as I say, I think is if we didn't already know it, and I think we all did, if we want to stay up this season, we've got to spend the money. We've got to do it now. We've got to go out. We've got to buy these players. Diego Carlos, centre-back, straight away. Bang. Step ahead of where we are right now. Obviously, it's rumoured that we're going to triple his wages, which, to be fair, what's he on now? 30 grand. We're going to pay him 90. Trippier's on 100. You know, it's just because they're not paid as much outside the Premier League. The Premier League is where the money's at. So even then, it sounds like, oh my God, they're paying this huge amount of money just to bring him in. Don't think it's even going to be that bad. It's not going to be, don't think it's going to be 200 grand or anything like that. I think it's probably 100, 110, 20. It might be more than people are on. I think maybe 100. I think we'll probably put him on what Trippier's on. But the point is that we need someone who's got experience, not in the Premier League, but will have a cool head. Again, you've seen what Trippier does. He was already trying to organise this team, and as great as it is, and I already spoke about Trippier coming in and not just instantly improving our 11 because he's better, but instantly improving the players around him. Lascelles, stand here, do this, move there. Like, we need more of that in the team, and we need it now. And I think of the two players that we're being linked with, it's understood that in the next 48 hours we're going to put in an improved bid for this Carlos, who apparently they've denied it 3 times in a row, and apparently they reckon they're going to accept this one. I don't know if that's true or not. I do think come the end of the window, some of these teams will start coming back to us and going, oh, and I know we said no to that 35 million you're offered, but actually we could really do with the money, so we're going to accept it now. I can see that happening at the end of the window. Anyway, I think the number 2, I think it's Cantwell. I think it's Norwich's Cantwell, which, to be honest, I'm still not fully decided on. He's not getting a game for Norwich. And I know we're desperate to improve, and I know our centre mid are having a freaking nightmare. Because we've got no creativity. I know I mentioned about the defensive stuff, but we have no creativity in there either. Shelvey's meant to be that creative playmaker, but he's just not doing it. Willock was meant to be that player as well, and he's completely off the boil. I think Cantwell will be a lot more creative for us, but I still got to ask the question, he's not getting played at Norwich. The new manager's come in and he's not playing him either. He was not getting a game before the new manager. I think there might be an injury issue there as well. So is it personnel, or is it just they don't think he's right or good enough? You think when they were in the Premier League a year ago, everyone was buzzing over him? I fully expected him to stay in the Premier League when Norwich went down. That didn't happen. And now, for whatever reason, he's not even getting a game now. But I think those are the 2 players, and I think Carlos, is a really good one. I think Cantwell, I'm still undecided on. And it's not like I'm saying this because I don't think we will spend the money. I think the owners are very actively trying to save this club with the spend. And and I think that's what they will do. My only worry is, at the same time, you know, we're trying to completely change a squad, trying to completely change an 11. I think we've got more chance of staying up if we do that. Don't get me wrong, because if we continue to play the way we do with the team we've got, then it's not going to work. So we do need to spend, but when has it ever worked when Spurs sold Bale and brought in 7 players and then none of them gelled and none of it worked? QPR went out and bought about 9 million people when they had a takeover. It obviously didn't work. I am still quite tentative on the fact that if we try and completely change our 11, and I know that's like, what's better? What's better, going out and spending and completely changing the team, or trying to stick with what we've got that isn't working? So I do get it. We need to go out, we need to spend, we just need to do it right, and we need to integrate the players well. Which is then when it comes down to Eddie Howe, because he is obviously getting asked a lot of questions as well at the minute. Rightly so. He's won 1 game since he got here, and I know all of the reporters are coming out and going, oh, well, when it was Bruce, it was his fault, but now that it's Eddie Howe, it's the players' fault. No, come on. The players got as much stick as Bruce did, and I think Eddie Howe needs to be given an allowance of time to come into a team that was already having a lot of problems. He needs to be given time with the new signings to get them up to speed. But yeah, I do get it. I do know why people are asking questions, and I'm going to ask the same ones, to be honest, because that Watford game was shocking. I think the worry for me now is Watford play Burnley tomorrow and then play Norwich on Saturday. If Dennis pulls it out the bag and scores a few goals in those games, then we are 9 points, 8 points away from safety, and suddenly it's looking very, very bleak. So that was why that Watford game was that big. We actually want Norwich and Burnley to do us a favour now. We want them all to draw. We need draws. Because if Burnley go and win, Norwich go and win, then we're really looking bad. So yeah, that was just basically an off-your-chest video. I think the owners are doing it anyway, so it's not like I'm sitting here going, we're not spent, we're not trying to do anything. We are actively trying to fix this situation, and that's what you've got to do. But Watford wasn't enough, and as I say, I think Leeds is going to be an absolute headache, if I'm being honest. But yeah, woke up this morning. Normally on a Sunday, I'm still feeling pretty good. I'm waking up today and I'm still feeling the same, to be honest, because I think that was a massive game. But yeah, let me know what you thought of it down below. Let me know what you think of the transfer situation. Let me know what you think of Eddie Howe as well. I do think the owners are going out and spending the money, and I do think come the end of the window, with a week left of 72 hours left, and someone goes, well, you can have Botman for 45 million, and we still haven't got another defender, I think they'll just cut. I think they'll just do it. I think they'll just have to do it. And then it becomes a bigger issue is, are they going to be brave enough to go out and spend an extra 100 million in the last 48 hours and risk us going down in the championship, and suddenly we're paying far too much money, unless the plan is come back straight up after one season. But yeah, that's where we are. As I say, tomorrow's video will be more positive. I do have some nicer, fun stuff to talk about tomorrow's video, so be sure to look out for that again around 4 o'clock. But yeah, drop a like if you've enjoyed. Watch the videos from the weekend if you want to cry. Thank you for watching. Enjoy your Monday, and I'll catch you later.